Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're not just going to talk about focus. We're actually going to build something. A mental bridge to help you conquer distraction and totally master your attention in just 45 seconds.
All right, let's just dive right into a feeling we all know, right? You sit down, you have the absolute best intentions. You're going to focus on this one thing, but then you don't. You find yourself scrolling or daydreaming or doing literally anything else.
Now, if that sounds familiar, it's not because you lack willpower. This isn't a personal failure. It's actually a super well-documented phenomenon. It's all rooted in the way our brains are wired. It's called the intention-behavior gap. It's that frustrating space between what we intend to do and what we actually end up doing. And just understanding that this gap exists, that's the very first step to building our bridge across it. So, what's really going on here? Well, it's basically a constant battle inside your head. You've got your planner, that's the slow, deliberate, effortful part of your brain, and then you have your autopilot, the fast, automatic part that just runs on habit. And guess which one takes over when we're tired or distracted? Yep, the autopilot. Every time. And here's the real problem. Our entire digital world is basically engineered to hijack our autopilot. Things like infinite scroll and video autoplay, they're called anti-patterns. They are specifically designed to keep us hooked with zero conscious effort, which makes real deep focus a serious uphill battle. So if our environment is set up against us and our willpower is, well, limited, what's the solution? The key takeaway here is this. We need to stop fighting our brain's autopilot and just start giving it better instructions. It's not about trying harder. It's about having a smarter strategy.
And that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to build a mental framework, this 45-second bridge, that automatically, almost effortlessly, carries us from the intention to focus, right over that gap, to the action of actually focusing.
So, how do we build the very first pillar of our bridge? Simple. We use a really powerful science-backed technique called implementation intentions. It's all about pre-programming our brain's response to distraction.
Now, this sounds kind of academic, but it's really not. All it is a specific plan that connects a situation with a response. You're basically creating a preloaded decision so your brain doesn't have to scramble to make one when it's already struggling.
The formula is so simple, but it's incredibly effective. First, you identify the if. That's the trigger. What's the exact moment your focus usually breaks? Then, you define the then, the automatic action you're going to take, no hesitation.
Here is the perfect actionable tip for this. By creating a plan this specific, you're literally forging an automatic link in your brain. The second you feel your mind start to drift, that's the if, your brain already knows the then. It just bypasses the need for willpower and gets you right back on track. Okay, on to our second pillar. This one is designed to tackle another huge barrier to getting things done, that feeling of being totally and completely overwhelmed.
And it's not about being lazy. Research shows that we often procrastinate simply because a task feels too big, and we just don't know where to start. So we don't. So the solution actually comes from a proven strategy in cognitive behavioral therapy, task decomposition. You take that one big, scary goal, and you just break it down into small, non-threatening, totally manageable steps. So for our 45-second goal, don't even think of it as 45 seconds. Think of it as 3 quick 15-second sprints. Your only job is to focus for that first 15 seconds. That's it. Every time you complete one of these little chunks, you get this tiny hit of accomplishment, a feeling of mastery that just fuels you to go for the next one. And that brings us to the final and maybe most crucial pillar of our bridge, locking in your success. There's a fundamental rule of behavior. Actions that get rewarded are the actions that get repeated. And we're not talking about big, elaborate rewards here. Simple, immediate acknowledgments of your success are incredibly powerful. This kind of self-reinforcement literally trains your autopilot brain to associate focus with a positive feeling, which makes it way easier to do it again next time.
We can also use something called nudges to help us stick with the plan. Think of them as simple reminders or cues in your environment that just prompt you to follow through. They act as a form of decision assistance, making it easier to do the thing you already wanted to do. And the science on this is clear. While the effect of a single reminder might seem tiny, the data shows that over time, these simple nudges have a real, statistically significant impact on our ability to follow through. Every little prompt really does help.
So, the key here is to make your success tangible. The absolute second you hit your 45-second goal, make a physical checkmark on a piece of paper. It sounds so simple, but that little act creates this powerful visual feedback loop. It acknowledges your success and seriously increases the odds that you'll do it again.
Okay, let's just zoom out for a second and look at the structure we've just built. Because these 3 tactics aren't just for a 45-second focus challenge, they form a powerful toolkit that you can use to tackle pretty much any goal. These are the 3 pillars that support your bridge from intention to action. First, you automate your response with if-then planning. Second, you make the task manageable by chunking it down. And third, you build momentum by reinforcing every single small win. So now you have a strategic toolkit that goes way beyond just listening longer. It's a method for turning any intention, whether that's exercising more, learning a new skill, or finishing that big project, into consistent, deliberate action. So the only question left is, what gap are you going to bridge next?